Hello everybody, we are very pleased to be here today. My name is Martin Fisher and my colleague.
My name is Andrew Cartwight.
And today we are representing England in this occasion, and more specifically the north of England. I'm from the northeast.
And I'm from the northwest.
And today the English cuisine that we will be preparing, everybody thinks of fish and chips when they think of English cuisine. We're doing the other one, which is a steak and ale pie.
So we're going to go through the process. We're going to make first the filling, then we're going to make the pastry, and then finally we're going to make the accompaniment, which is going to be
mushy peas.
Mushy peas. Sure, so the first thing to do is for Martin to cut his piece of meat and for me to cut this onion, which I'm now going to kind of put in with some garlic.
This is a meal that you can have hot, fresh out of the oven. It's really nice, or it's also good the next day when it's cold, and you can take it on a picnic or you can take it to work or school, so it's nice hot or cold.
Martin és Andrew Észak-Angliából érkeztek Magyarországra, de ők ketten csak itt, a 9. kerületben találkoztak és barátkoztak össze. Martin 1999-ben érkezett, és kezdetben a British Councilnál tanított, majd a Vöröskereszt munkatársa lett. Jelenleg főként külföldön dolgozik, nemzetközi projektekben. Andrew 2002-ben a Liverpooli Egyetemről jött Magyarországra, azóta a Közép-Európai Egyetem professzora. Mindketten Ferencvárosban élnek a családjukkal, a gyermekeik helyi magyar iskolába járnak. Támogatják a Ferencvárosi Közösségi Alapítvány munkáját, mivel hisznek abban, hogy ahol erős a közösség, ott jobb az élet is. Mindennapjaikat meghatározza a foci iránti szenvedélyük és a főzés szeretete. Ez hozta össze őket. Azóta több főzőversenyen is az élen végeztek, és ennek köszönhető az is, hogy egy amerikai barátjukkal együtt nemrég megvették a Lónyai utca elején régóta működő 6-3 borozót. S bár a közkedvelt kocsma a helyi angol száz közösségnek is központi találkahelye lett, Martinék fontosnak tartották megőrizni a hely sajátosan magyar jellegét, hogy a környékbeli törzsvendégek és az itt élő külföldi szomszédok egyaránt jól érezzék magukat náluk.
It's ironic in some ways that us as Englishmen who lost the game back in 1953 should be supporting the bar that was made by the guy who scored 3 goals. I'm very happy with that irony. We think it's great in some ways that people go, why is Englishmen kind of owning a pub that is like celebrating their biggest defeat? And you go, well, it was a good game, it was a friendly, it led to lots of changes that were good, English...
And Hungary was the best football team in the world.
Absolutely.
They changed,
it's just that people didn't know.
Yeah, they changed that team in the 50s, that changed the way football was played. So as football supporters, you can recognise that and congratulate the team, because that was revolutionary.
So what I'm going to do is going to start off with just browning off the onions in a bit of garlic.
While the Mongolitsa ghee is dissolving, I'm just going to take an ordinary bowl, put in the meat. I'm going to take the Coleman's English mustard, 1 teaspoon.
This is salt. Now, paprika. Are you going to put the paprika in now or later?
I'll put a little bit of paprika in now.
It was already there. It was the 6th Street Bordeaux. It was, a traditional, well-liked, well-regarded, wine bar, beer bar. What's the change? All we need to do, in some ways, put a bit more money, do up the electrics, maybe put a few more beers on the tap, but it's there already. There's no need to change it. So in that sense, we are conservative. We are traditionalists. We support the existing way of life and do not like to change it just because we had a great idea for making some kind of Italian espresso house.
All around the world, every community has a way of coming together and meeting, and whether it's drinking coffee, whether it's drinking beer, drinking wine, smoking a shisha pipe, there's a way of doing that. That is replicated in every different kind of society around the world, and that's a Hungarian way of doing it, and we recognise that, we enjoy that, and we want to support that. We really want to maintain that atmosphere, make sure there's good Hungarian wines, some good beers, the food which we serve is good.
So this is the theory. If you can then take out your slightly sort of softened onions, and you can put the heat up so you can brown the meat very, very quickly.
Need some more jus?
Yeah. I think football was the beginning, but because both of us are involved in kind of organising things, it meant that we wanted to make the team better, do more things. It's also a good way to get to know people outside of work.
Yeah, there was a nice group of English, Hungarian, and then assorted other people join the community, play football, have a couple of drinks, and really feel at home. That was nice. So the interesting thing, as we're doing this, you'll be watching this, Hungarians watching, say, this is very similar to a pörkölt, and it is. I mean, this is a beef pörkölt, you can do it with anything. So the filling for the pie is very similar to Hungarian cuisine. The difference is what we do with it after we've made the pörkölt.
To have the kitchen to ourselves with maybe some music on or the radio on, and you go into a kind of daydream awake kind of mode where you're thinking of something, you listen to something, you're constantly adjusting the what's cooking. It's time off. It's like going on a little holiday.
You get in the kitchen, close the door, put the radio on, maybe some like a documentary, a podcast, or put some music on. Do the chopping, start the process and start the blending of the flavours together.
Now what we're going to do is to put our onions back into here, and then our porter.
You're doing something useful, you're doing something for your family, for your friends, so you feel good about that. It's not wasted time, but you also it's something for yourself because you've got that time to yourself. So no, it's a magical time. It's wonderful.
Then we can put the meat. You want to put it in here?
Yeah.
Put it in here. And we get all that juicy, oniony, beery gorgeousness.
So I think the only thing that's different so far about what we're doing here and what a pörkölt, probably you would use red wine in a pörkölt and we're using beer. So far I think that's about the only difference. So put the...
Yeah. So this is thyme or kakufa. It's quite a mild aromatic herb. Okay, so I think we're now ready to put it back onto the pan, and then we're going to do a kind of a cook for, well, how long are we going to cook for, Mark?
2 hours.
2 hours. Ferencvárosi is like a series of small villages, each with their own character, each with their own kind of atmosphere, and so you can dip in, you can come to Bokajtér, you can go to Calvintér, you can walk around, and I think what everyone wants in the end is a sense of familiarity and a sense of recognition. I know the butcher, the baker, the candlestick maker. I know the postman, and then I can walk around my neighbourhood.
As you get to know a place and you meet some people from there, you get a connection to some of the places, then you start to get accustomed and you start to feel at home.
Yeah.
And that's over the time, that's what we've done,
yeah.
We feel at home. And so you've got that connection with the butcher, and then you go off and you talk to somebody else, and then you explain to them, I'm making an English pie, and you explain what that's all about. You say, right, well, what when you just, and then you say, what do you reckon is the closest Hungarian ingredient to lard? And you say, oh, zsír. Now do we liebe zsír, mongolica zsír, milyen zsír? And now you kind of agree, and then but those kind of things, and people take the time to have those conversations with you, and that's lovely. And that's it. That's the filling for the pie. As I said, we'll put it on the stove. This will cook And after a few minutes, we'll put in the rest of the beer as well. We're going to lid for that.
So we're going to cook this on a low setting.
Yeah. We want the meat to be nice and soft, tender.
The first part of the meal, the filling is done. So now we have our percolator bubbling in the background. It'll take another while to reduce to the correct consistency, but now we're going to move to making the pastry.
So for the pastry, we've measured out 350 grams of just plain flour. This is 75 grams of butter. And to this, I'm going to add the Mongolice ghee. Again, 75 grams of this as well.
We're going to use the whole of the surface to make the pastry. So this is a very good dish for making a complete mess in your kitchen. You can get flour everywhere.
So equal quantities of butter, Mongolice ghee and flour. The first people who help each other is your neighbour or your family. It's that kind of mentality that everybody, no matter how bad the situation, everybody can offer something to help other people.
So you make a little kind of small flat hill, then you do a little hole in the middle, and then you add in your lovely mixture of butter and fat. And then what you do is you're going to bring up the sides so they kind of get to cover it all. Just use the ends of your fingers, just the tips of your fingers, and just kind of keep it so you're gradually introducing the flour to the fat. My point is that the institutions like the Ferencvárosi Community Foundation are very important sort of elements in the development of strong kind of civic participation. People want to volunteer, they want to take part, but they perhaps need to have opportunities. Tell me what to do and I'll help out. Show me where to go, show me what to do.
The strength of the community is that everybody feels at home and feels supported, and different people at different times in your life. Some people, you might be on your ups, you might be on your downs. And then when you're on your downs, the community needs to support you. And then you'll be on your ups and then you can support. So that's the community spirit.
Yeah.
And if you can support people in your community, then everybody benefits and the whole community is better and everybody's happier and it's a better place for you. So there's a self-interest.
You can see the mixture is almost perfect. It's almost just equal kind of size of these little kind of gravelly, stony, softy things. So we'll bring that in. We'll make ourselves a little well in the middle. And you can start now to knead it out.
Let me make suggestions of how clues in the name, Ferencvárosi Community Foundation. So in that, people want to help their community. So it comes back to this. So they have creativity, they have ideas. They need to see the value. If I volunteer my time, my creativity, then people will come together and there's more value created by people joining together for a purpose. But the participation, I think, is very important. They're not told this is what we're going to. It's actually from the community. The needs are identified, maybe the gaps are identified, and then you volunteer your time, your energy, your creativity to help improve the community.
All right.
So let's put that into the dish, cover it, and then put it in the fridge.
Right. Next thing we're going to do is the thing to go alongside the pie, and we're going to cook it with garlic, and then we're going to blend it with some Italian Parmesan cheese. And that'll be for about 10 minutes.
If you want to bring people together and you want to talk, the best way to do that is to put something interesting on the table.
Yeah, it's just the challenge of thinking of a meal, thinking of the ingredients, thinking of where to buy it, putting it together, putting the radio on in your big kitchen, and then getting on with it, and then serving something, and then seeing the satisfaction on people's faces when they've had a well-cooked meal, which they know has been made for them. It's a sign of love, it's a sign of care, it's a demonstration of how you feel towards different people.
putting food on the table is a way of bringing people together.
If you want to be like Jamie Oliver, add in olive oil, because every meal he has, you have to have olive oil covered over. Now, are we going to do blind baking first, or are we just going to do... Next thing, okay, so this is our oven, and it's a very hot oven. This is 220 degrees.
It was a piece of beef from the Warsaw channel, from the butcher, which we know, and he advised us, we're making a perkult, he advised us not. It's a Hungarian dark beer, hotarum, it's Mongolica zsír, and it's Hungarian butter, onions, so all the products are Hungarian. So yeah, and it works really well.
Okay, you can see, well hopefully, it's much more dried out now on the bottom. Now, so the next stage is to add our meat. There you go. And you see it's very kind of thick, liquidy gravy in here.
When I put the lid on, like this.
Careful. Then what we'll do is we'll use the egg yolk and put it all over the top, and then this will make the top of the pie come out golden brown.
Vitally important. We said we want to cook this, but we also want to let some of the steam come out. So we just put a little hole in the middle, and then I'll take my fork, just put a little, just prick it.
Okay, right, back in our oven, which is still 220 degrees, and it cooks now for about
20 minutes.
20 minutes. So it's been in now for 21 minutes. Wow. And as you can see, it looks perfect. And then, to finish off, Martin will do a little, a very chefy northeast twist to our classic take on English steak and ale pie with mushy peas. We hope you will try it at home. We hope you enjoy it as much as we have enjoyed making it, and we wish you
Kívánok!